Right. Good evening and welcome to the November 24th, 2025 meeting of the Shawnee City Council. I'm Mayor Mickey Sandifer and I'll be chairing this meeting. I'll do a roll call at this time. Councilmember Whitted.
Present.
Councilmember Gillette.
Present.
Councilmember Murphy.
Present.
Councilmember Kimling.
Present.
Councilmember Knappen.
Present.
Councilmember Steens.
Present.
Councilmember Walters.
Present.
Councilmember Birchfield.
Present.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to explain our procedures for public input. In an effort to enhance residents' ability to present information to the governing body, anyone interested in addressing the governing body is strongly encouraged to sign up to speak by noon of the day of the meeting, but it's not required. Information has been posted online about how to sign up. By policy, comments are limited to 5 minutes, and no person may speak more than once to any one agenda item. Only comments related to city business are permitted. Disruptive acts are not permitted as per policy number 7 and will not be tolerated. Additionally, comments can be submitted to the entire governing body via email at governingbody@cityofshawnee.org. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Is there anyone like to remove anything on the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion. Kurt?
Move to approve.
Angela?
Second.
Got a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is business from the floor. Is there anyone signed up for business from the floor?
Mayor, we had one pre-register, Matt McQueenie.
Okay. Would you come up to the podium, please? When you're finished, put your name and address on the form at the podium.
And Mr. McQueenie, will you press the button on the mic to get it to green? Yep, just tap it. All right, thank you.
My name is Matt McQueenie. I own Rise and Shine in the Midland Corridor. Today, I found out the Midland is closing again. We went through 16 months of KDOT having the whole corridor closed down, and our business lost $480,000. And this morning, my wife gets an email from the city saying that it's closing again for 3 months. Stunned, absolutely stunned. I don't even know what to say at this point. I would have thought somebody at least came and talked to us, let the businesses know. I have let all the businesses know today, and they are very unhappy. For us personally, me and my wife, we're a small business owner. We've been there 17 months now. 14 of it, the highway is closed. And I just don't understand in the wisdom of what's going on in this city. I really don't. Nobody came to us and said, hey, we're doing this. Last time I knew, when the construction was going to take place, they were going to keep one lane open at all times. Now we're being told from Shawnee Mission Parkway to right where that road is by Hartford House, it's being closed again. How in the world does this happen? How? I don't understand. I mean, you got businesses that have invested into this community, pay taxes. Not one of us missed a tax payment during that time, what was going on. And now we're going through it again. We're going into our busiest time of the year. Busiest time of the year. Minsky's did a complete remodel, spent all this money to do a remodel. Barley's has brought Twinkle into the community to bring more people into the corridor. Paulo and Bill's is rebranding, trying to get stuff going. How does this stuff happen, guys? It can't. It just can't. It's not fair. You know, I'm a veteran. I've served this country. I've lived in this community. And for this to happen again is not acceptable. I mean, I don't know if you guys did not know, but this is just not acceptable. It should not have happened to us again. So again, I don't know if there's anything that can be done, but I'm being told that is being closed for 3 months starting Monday. We found out today, December 1st is closing. How does this happen? I don't know. That's all I got.
Thank you. And we're not, we don't have this open for open comments back and forth, but that road has been planned for about 10 years to be basically renovated and changed to a different, with the walking lanes or the walking trails on the side and all. This isn't a question and answer.
Well, I was told something different.
Okay.
One lane open.
Okay, but all right. See you later. Anyone else signed up to speak?
No, Mayor, that's all we had pre-registered.
Next item on the agenda is mayor's items. I have one item tonight. On Wednesday, November 12th, the city honored staff and volunteers who reached milestone years of public service, both with the city of Shawnee and other public agencies. I'd like to invite Communications Director Doug Donahue to the podium to read the complete list of honorees this year.
Thank you, Mayor. Celebrating 10 years of service, Sue Breward, Code Board of Appeals, Jacob Burris, Police, Alex Cox, Parks and Recreation, Robert S. Howard II, Fire, Michael Inich, Information Technology, Scott Johnson, Fire, Matthew Miller, Civil Service Commission, J.D. Moore, Police, Kathy Peterson, Planning Commission, Amber Walston, Police, Ethan Walston, Community Development. Celebrating 15 years of service, Stephen Cartwright, Civil Service Commission, Ryan Phelps, Fire, Paul Kramer, City Manager's Office, Kelly Langford, Parks and Recreation, Christina Lucas, Municipal Court, John M. Roy, Fire. Celebrating 20 years of service, Ethan Foster, Fire, Devin Malchos, Public Works, Wade Hunter Wilson, Police. Celebrating 25 years of service, Quentin Hammondtree, Fire, Royal Kruger, Parks and Recreation, Scott Fuller, Parks and Recreation, Josh Cheney, Fire, Nikki Larson, Municipal Court, Amy Mosley, Police, Mike Velasquez, Police, Jeff Weltmer, Fire, Tim Wigginton, Fire, David Wolf, Fire, Mark Zielsdorf, Community Development, and celebrating 30 years of service, Philip Berger, Police.
Thank you. Let's give those dedicated public servants a round of applause. Next item on the agenda is items from the council committee meeting on November 10th, 2025. Item number 1 is to adopt the 2026 State of the Federal Legislature priorities, state and federal legislative priorities. Paul?
Colin Duffy, our Deputy City Manager, will handle this item.
All right, Mayor and Council, this item is adopted annually and sets the legislative priorities for 2026. At the November 10th Council Committee meeting, the city's lobbyists gave an overview from the state legislature, and we reviewed the priorities document for both the state and federal. The items in this document are identical to last year's priorities and focus on local control, budget and fiscal impact, and funding and services. One motion can adopt both priorities tonight, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anyone on council have any questions for staff? Is there anyone in the audience sign up for this? Anyone in the audience like to speak on this issue? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion. Angela?
Move to approve.
Here,
Second.
have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
I have one opposed, Mike Kimling. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda are staff items. Item number 1 is to consider adopting the 2024 International Fire Code and Building Code ordinances. Paul?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. One of the most fundamental things that a local unit of government does to ensure the health and safety of its residents and businesses is administer building codes. Tonight before you are 7 different building codes that are before you for adoption. These are codes that we have. We're simply updating to the most recent version of the code. I do have Tyler Worth, our Chief Building Official, here tonight to give an overview of these. A couple quick notes. This is a long process. I bet Tyler and his team have been working on this for well over a year. And I do want to mention one omission tonight. We do not have the energy code before you. The energy code is something that just about every municipality in the county and really the region, and in some cases the country, are still wrestling with. What we're trying to figure out there is what's the right balance between not increasing costs on development with trying to ensure efficiency and good proper planning practices and building practices. So we continue, like other cities do, to work on the energy code. So I'm guessing sometime in January, February, we may see that at a council committee. But tonight, there are 7 different aspects of the building code and fire code that Tyler will walk us through, and then we'll be before you tonight.
Thank you very much, Paul. I'm Tyler Worth, Chief Building Official, and I tried to provide you guys quite a bit of information within your packet so we could kind of make the presentation move forward pretty easily, and then we can answer questions related to this at the end. So currently we are underneath the 2018 International Building Codes, and they come out with new codes every 3 years, but we skip an adoption year. Along with everybody within the metro area, for the most part, does that. And so, so now we're looking at the 2024 codes, which is, like Paul mentioned, just replacing the existing building codes that we already have, but they're updated to include new technology and more information that we'll get here in a minute. So it is a very long process that we do. We've actually been working on it for almost 2 years. The building codes come out, I think the first one came out right before 2024 even started. And so as soon as they come out, staff begins reviewing the codes, going through them, comparing them to the current codes that we are under. There's training then that starts to get developed as they're out. So staff goes to those. Johnson County Building Officials Organization is an organization that meets monthly, even outside of the code adoption. And so once the new codes come out, we set up a codes committee, and we all meet in additional to our normal meetings to go over these codes. And, the fire marshals meet as well within Johnson County, but then it's not just Johnson County. We also meet with the metro areas as well. Kansas City, Missouri, Lee Summit, others on the Missouri side as well. And we do this to kind of stay similar on the codes as much as we can, because there's contractors that work in Shawnee, Overland Park, Lenexa, but they also work on the Missouri side too. So we like to work with the Missouri side, and we kind of pull everybody's thoughts and ideas together to come up with the best possible answers. But not only do the code officials meet, but we also meet with contractors to get their opinion on things, hear them out. The Kansas City Home Builders Association is very involved in this process. We work very closely with them as well. And then like certain energy organizations also meet with us through Johnson County Building Officials. And then as we get closer, we presented kind of our recommendations to the city manager's office before moving here to city council. So as Paul mentioned, the commercial energy code is not recommended for adoption at this time. There are a lot of changes in the energy code that are very high cost. There's actually restrictions for using fossil fuels. So if you use natural gas, then there's restrictions in your buildings required to become more energy efficient. And these are very big topics that metro-wide that we're going over, and we want to continue to evaluate that. And I want to come to a council committee meeting, as Paul mentioned, beginning part of the year to kind of explain everything that's going on with that. It's not uncommon that we don't adopt a certain code with the rest of them. There's other jurisdictions that are still underneath the 2012 energy code, but the 18 building codes. And so there's different processes to do it, but I'd just like to bring you guys more information on what we're looking at with the energy codes before we take it for adoption. So the commercial energy codes consist of the International Building Code, International Mechanical Code, Plumbing Code, Fuel Gas Code, and Electrical Code. Most of the changes on the commercial side are more clarifications. There's increased technology. As you all know, technology is evolving everywhere. It's also evolving within buildings, how to make them safer, even structurally, how to build them. And so it recognizes changes. Lithium ion batteries is a big topic in this code because of the safety with those. When lithium ion batteries catch on fire, they generate their own oxygen. They're very hard to put out. So the energy, or not the energy code, sorry, the building codes focus on how do we protect the structure, how do we protect the people inside in these building storage facilities, production plants, all those. So those are very good technology changes to have in it. Up-to-date structural designs, up-to-date safety regulations, occupied roofs are becoming popular. Means of egress from those, means of egress from other portions have been updated. The residential code, it is one book and consists of all the structural, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, energy is all under one book for the residential code. Most of the changes within the residential code were electrical changes and energy changes. GFCI protection, which is protecting from, like in your bathroom, your outlets in there, anything close to a water source to protect people from electrical shock. And so there's updated a lot more locations where the GFCI is actually required to help protect people. There is surge protection required on every house. If house is struck by lightning, the surge protector is actually going to protect the electrical system rather than damaging the electrical system of the house. And then exterior disconnects on the exterior of houses is something new too. And this is mainly for fire service. So when they show up for a fire, they can quickly disconnect all electricity, make it safer for them. On the energy code side, of course, it is increasing the energy efficiency. There are 4 different ways for the energy code, there's 3 different in the residential, there's 3 different ways for compliance. There's the ERI score, energy rating index. There's a simulated building performance, which is where they simulate comparison to different buildings. And then there's also prescriptive. We have had it in the past for a while where we also adopt another process, which is called the HERS rating process. It's the Home Energy Rating System. And it's very similar to the ERI, the Energy Rating Index. However, there's a little bit more checks and balance with the HERS. The raters have to be rated through ResNet. They actually have to send in their reports to get certified, where you don't have that with the ERI, but it's very similar. So we feel that there are benefits to the HERS. So we like to add that in. And so our score is currently at an 80. We're looking to go to a 70 now with the new codes. But a couple of the other big things that we believe is important for energy rating is the tightness of the house. We want to keep, the temperatured air in. As it leaks, of course, then your systems run more. But then also with that, you have to look at, the air quality within inside the house. Then it requires mechanical ventilation. So you have to start bringing in fresh air, ventilating it. And those are a little bit of changes too, to help with the energy efficiency and air quality of the house. And those are kind of the big changes on the residential code. So the International Fire Code, a few of the changes there is fire department is going to start requiring operational permits for energy storage systems. This is a free permit. It's through the fire department, and it's mainly just so the fire departments know where these energy rating systems are located, because it drastically affects their safety and how they're going to fight the fire. Because just because they shut off the electrical service when they're solar, that doesn't mean that that's going to completely kill the power. So they want to know where those items are located. And then once again, as I previously mentioned, the lithium ion batteries, locations of charging stations, as you start putting charging stations inside of buildings and inside of parking garages, there becomes increased safety hazards with that if they catch on fire. And so there's different locations where they need to be inside. Some changes there, just ways to make it more accessible for the fire department to get to them, pull those vehicles out with their equipment, or also just to protect the structures themselves. And that is all I have for the presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Anybody have any questions? Tony?
Hey, Tyler, appreciate your presentation. I wanted to give you credit for bringing something maybe 2 years back now. And I wanted to, if you have an update, give you an opportunity. We passed an ordinance to change the code where we added drywall to the underneath of stairwells of new construction within Shawnee. Was there any discussions from the other governing bodies? Do you have any updates that you can maybe give us of if that's being successful? If there's any test results that have improved on that, and is that code working properly?
Yes, it has been very successful. We actually receive lots of support from the industry as well, from builders, contractors, the KCHBA. And it's gaining a lot of traction within other Johnson County cities as well. So a couple of the other cities took it back to council like we did to get it in sooner. Not all of them did, but now all of them are updating their codes. When they go to the 24 code, they are adding that in as well, because they see the added benefit to it as well. It's a very good addition.
Well, I appreciate that. I remember you led the edge on that, and you were a leader in that. So I wanted to give you kudos for having done that, and you're leading something that's caught on fire with the rest of the county. So job well
Thank you
done.
very much.
Anyone else? Anyone want to sign up for this? Anyone in the audience like to speak on this? Would you come up to the podium, state your name and address, and also sign form on the podium when you're finished?
My name is George Schluter. I'm not a resident of Shawnee. I'm a builder member of the HBA, and I'm chair of our codes task force. Just want to say we met with Mr. Worth and talked about the issues, and want to let you know that we fully support it.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience like to speak on this? Hearing none, we have 7 motions to consider. The first motion is to consider passing ordinance to adopt the 2024 International Fire Code. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Angela,
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Our second motion is to consider passing an ordinance to adopt 2024 International Building Codes. I'll accept the motion. Jeannie?
Move to approve.
Sierra?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Third motion is to consider passing an ordinance to adopt the 2023 National Electrical Code. I have a motion. Angie?
Move to approve.
Jacqueline?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Fourth motion is to consider passing an ordinance to adopt the 2024 International Residential Code. Do I have a motion? Tony?
Yeah, move to approve the International Residential Code.
Jeannie?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Fifth motion is to consider passing the ordinance to adopt the 2024 International Mechanical Code. Do I have a motion? Kurt?
Move to approve.
Angela?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. The sixth motion is to consider passing an ordinance to adopt the 2024 International Fuel Gas Code. I have a motion. Jenny?
Move to approve.
Angela?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item number 7 is to consider passing an ordinance to adopt the 2024 International Plumbing Code. I'll accept the motion. Angela?
Move to approve.
Jacqueline?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is miscellaneous items. Item number 1 is to ratify the semi-monthly claims for November 24, 2025 in the amount of $2,804,730.88. Do I have a motion? Angela?
Move to approve.
Sierra?
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Miscellaneous items, council items. Does anybody have anything? Paul?
Yeah, just briefly, I shared in the reception we had before, but I'd like to thank again council members Gillette, Kemling, Steens, and Walters for their support over the last year and a half, and wish you all the best and thank you for serving.
I'd also like to wish Shawnee and all the council members and everybody a happy holidays and happy Thanksgiving. Does anyone on the council have anything? Jeannie?
I just graduated from the Citizen Police Academy, and on the night of graduation, I told them that it's something that I think every member of the council should take part in at some point. So I will just urge my fellow council members and also the incoming council members. I know a whole lot more about the workings of the police department, and even more importantly, all of those things we vote to pay for that I never quite knew what they were. I actually know what they are and how they work now. So it's an important thing to do. The department gives of their time. So I just encourage everyone to take part.
Anyone else? Angela?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you all. I had a nice reception in the back and got to thank everyone here in the staff. And I just want to also thank the people in my Ward 3 who've been great to work with, all the citizens there that trusted me to be their voice. And I really appreciate that. And it was been an honor to serve you. And thank you everyone here also. And Shawnee, we have a great community here. Very proud to be a part of it.
Thank you. Jacqueline?
Yes, just a follow-up from McQueenie earlier. Just wondering, did we know that it was going to shut down both lanes of traffic? I guess I was under the understanding that it would still flow, at least with one lane.
So during the construction project, which is about a year-long project, there will maintain full access to Midland, sometimes one lane at a time.
Okay.
As part of the project, we have 4 or 5 separate utility providers that at some point leading up to the project are going to have to do some work. In this case, it's the replacement of a water line that will continue to serve that entire area. Because of the size of the equipment that they have to do that. Now, I will tell you that they have been very good to work with. They're dedicating 3 crews to this. So while the window is 3 months publicly, because they could get called off for emergency weather could come, we expect it to be done significantly sooner than that. So during the extensive project on Midland, it will remain open. And this current closure does not affect any of the on or off ramps or the access from 435. So it is just on that area as they replace the water line in anticipation of the larger project.
But it does start December 1st.
Yeah, so they have windows because they have projects all over the county, and at some point their crews are available and they'll jump on it. And my understanding is they are dedicating 3 crews to try to get this done as quick as possible, understanding that this area has and will continue to see a lot of construction, a lot of improvements, but at the same time, which creates a lot of headache for the entire area. So
does it shut it down? Like if they are pulled off of it, it still keeps it closed? Is that?
So my understanding, and I hesitate to speak too much for them, is that all 3 crews will be on it. And if one got called off to an emergency, the other ones would continue working and then would come back as soon as that emergency was in order to get that process. Good weather, good crews, you can see that considerably. But again, Red Oak Hills would be able to still access 435, all 4 ramps from north and south will still have full access.
It like shuts down kind of after Red Oak and then.
It's the outer ring road, Elm Ridge is still fully accessible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, sorry,
Did I miss anything?
I'm going to have a host of questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to
Thanks,
provide a little
Kevin.
context. So essentially what you're going to see out there, you've probably all seen this before, is that basically on Midland at Lawrence and then on Elm Ridge, there will be basically staggered barricades. So it'll say road closed to through traffic, basically because there will be construction going on. So we want to limit the amount of people going through there, but
Sure.
we're still going to be maintaining access for all the people that live along Midland, obviously. So you will be able to drive, basically, weave around those barricades and get to your home or wherever you need to go. And theoretically, you could drive all the way through Midland,
Okay.
all the way across. We're just trying to discourage people from driving down there. But if you live along Midland and you want to go east, east 435, you'll have the ability to do that, or you'll have the ability to do west. The only exceptions to that were like when Water One is doing their work, they're going to be crossing the roadway, like 6 or 7 locations. And so when they're physically like saw cutting the roadway and putting in the new pipe, there will be times where there's like short-term, like basically point closures. Sure. That makes sense. So there may be specific points. They're basically probably going to start on the west side and progress east. But even when they cut the roadway at night, they're going to be working in the day. They're going to be plating that. So basically it'll be back open to at night. So it's not going to be one of those things where I think a lot of the frustration comes in when like the road's closed, there's no work going on. When there's nobody out there, like any open cut of the road will be plated. And so people will be able to get through there. Like I said, the only time where someone may be driving and it's like, oh, I can't progress is if they're physically out there cutting and, you can't get through the roadway. But for the most part, I'm outside of working hours. So before they start in the morning and then after basically it gets dark, there won't be anyone out there and people will be able to progress normally through there.
Okay, that's very helpful. Is there any way that we could follow up with Queenie and just do a more thorough explanation as to what's going to actually be happening there? And he probably did not know, again, when he bought his business, that this was already approved. And yes, it's been on the agenda for 10 years, but not fully approved and actually going to happen until last year. And so I think that's helpful information for him to have as he hopefully does not get too impacted by that. So I appreciate you answering all the questions. And I'll just close with thank you for always answering all the questions that I've always had and explaining in detail, all of these things that greatly impact our citizens, our businesses. And so appreciate all the hard work on a part of the staff and Paul. And so thank you all for all of your work. Appreciate it. And I'll miss you all. Thanks.
Yeah, I've got 2 things quickly. First, I want to recognize the good work that Public Works and our contractors did resurfacing out west along Shawnee Mission Parkway. Looks great. I was especially impressed that when there were lane closures, there was always somebody working on them actively, not passing through construction zones that are just sitting idle, which is frustrating. So nice job. And then finally, I just want to personally thank our departing 4 council members. You guys have been great to work with. Angela, you've been a wonderful ward mate, and I wish you all the best. Thanks.
Mike?
Yep, I would just like to take this time to congratulate Eric Persons, who will be the new Ward 2 representative going forward. And I also wanted to take the time to thank the 3 different ward mates I'd served with over the last 12 years. To Neil Sawyer, Eric Jenkins, and Jeannie Murphy here for working with me to do our best to represent the residents and the citizens of Ward 2. It has been truly an honor, and so I thank the residents for putting me here for the last 12 years to try to fight for their best interest. But ultimately, I wanted to thank my wife and kids. It's when I first ran, my wife was pregnant with our 3rd. And so my youngest, my 5th born, is now 9 years old. So I can't tell you the number of nights she's had to single parent because I've been here. And so I just want to thank them for making the big sacrifice for dealing without me over this last decade plus. So just want to say that. Thank you.
Tony?
I'll pick up where Councilmember Kebling left off. I also want to thank my wife for her support, and my kids previously who live out of state these days, but to my wife for allowing me to do this. I've been active in local politics for 12 years, on the council for 4. It truly has been an honor to serve the citizens of Shawnee and Ward 1. I've enjoyed it tremendously. I've learned a ton about what it is the city staff has to do, the things you have to the challenges that you have to make your job go, and what makes the city great. And so I just want to say to the staff, job well done. Keep up the good work. Citizens, thank you for your support through the years. Highlight just a couple quick things if I could take a minute since this is on our way out the door. We were able to, over the last 4 years, increase our pipe replacement programs in the city of Shawnee and use a lot of reserve dollars that we had. And so I know that the infrastructure of the city is going to continue to remain strong for the next generation, and that's very important. So that was all across the city, but especially out in the western part of the city, there's tons of needs out there. So that's going to continue. There's a plan to continue to do that. And so I consider that probably one of the greatest accomplishments we have. We added renovations to our fire department. We've supported our police department as well. All great things. Parks upgrades in this city across both sides of town. Fantastic things that we've done. I've supported the downtown redevelopment. Not always a popular thing to do with seed grants, but if you're a limited government guy like I am, picking winners and losers is always a great way to go. But I think our downtown deserves that. And I think for generations to come, our downtown is going to continue to thrive from a retail standpoint and entertainment standpoint. So I'm excited and glad that those are going well and that I supported those things. And then finally, curbs and gutters and sidewalks projects. We did increase several of those through some areas across town, also including in our Ward 1. So that's great and appreciate it. We haven't always agreed on everything we've done as far as what the staff is concerned. Citizens have their opinions as well. But I think we've represented you well as the citizenry. We've represented the staff well. And I really appreciate the support of my fellow council members. And then 2 years ago, the previous council members. We kind of rejected some socialist tenement apartment projects all across the city and replaced them with single family homes. And it's much needed across this community. And so those are good things. And I'm very proud of that. We've also reduced taxes twice. We showed that by reducing taxes, you can still have balanced budgets without cutting city services. So that's my final warning. And I'd like to see this council continue to do that in the future. In the meantime, keep up the good work. Thank you for your service. Thank you to the citizens and best wishes, Shawnee.
Anyone else? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.